Hello there, everybody. I hope you're all high and dry this morning, because if you're not, then you're buried under 1.5 feet of snow, just like I am. Yeah, it's a little bit of a work. My neighbor came over, Marcus, and with his front end loader, he got a lot of the snow pushed away, but now I have to do all the individual paths to the coops, and man, it's a little bit of work. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sing to myself Psalm 19 the whole way. There's a little portion of it that I remember from a song I used to sing in college where it talks about the law of the Lord and how it's sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Oh yeah, it just tastes so good. What? The law tastes so good? The 10 Commandments, those things that tell us, you shall not, you shall not, you shall not? Well, yeah. And that's what this psalm is all about. Hey, we've talked about this before, so I'm going to test your knowledge. There are 3 psalms that talk about as their main subject, the law of the Lord. What are those 3 psalms? I already said Psalm 19, so I gave you one of them. But because I said Psalm 19, that basically gives the other 2 away. Do you remember the little formula? You take 119, 119. Now, it's not that the law isn't mentioned in some of the other psalms. It pops up here and there. But those are the 3 psalms that basically say, hey, what God has given us in the law actually is good. It's great. It's fantastic. And that's what Psalm 19 says. It starts out with the first 6 verses, and it's not that long, so read it. Talking about creation and how wonderful creation is, and creation doesn't even have a voice. It doesn't say a word, but it speaks volumes because it's so awesome. And it's in that awesome glory of creation that we see God. But then all of a sudden the psalm takes a sudden turn and moves away from creation to the written word of God. And there we hear God's voice speak to us, and it really is a beneficial thing for you and for me. Sweeter than honeycomb. Do you ever dip your fingers into the jar of honey and just kind of suck on that finger for a little bit and go, that just tastes so good? Well, don't do it because you're spreading germs, okay? Come on. Got to talk about hygiene here too, right? All right, so now the psalm just has a little bit of an ending to it as well that's kind of interesting. It kind of switches gear in the next to the last verse, and it says, hey, you know something? As much as we love the law and we follow it, sometimes we kind of goof up, and we don't always see that we're doing it. So God, help us out with that. Forgive us those times that we do fail. And then it ends on kind of a prayer. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you. So it's a beautiful, beautiful psalm. Just revel in it. Walk outside in all this snow today and sing God's praises. The only thing that's a little weird is we don't have the sun shining to kind of boast of God's glory, as the psalm talks about. But hey, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for you. God's blessings be with you this day.